Our career exploration video in the field of construction. I'm Zach, and with me here today I have Chris Green and Jeff Tater, sorry.
All right.
And yeah, we're going to continue where we left off last time from education, moving on to actual work experience. So, Chris, can you give me a general overview of sort of what it has been like ever since you got out of college in terms of what you did for your career?
Yeah, actually I began my career as a drafter, drafting on the board. And even though I was trained on the computer, the technology really wasn't there. So I began drafting on the board for several years, and I made the switch to, when a position was opening, to become a estimator project manager. And from there on, I started small, meaning that I had to do some grunt type things, and from there I learned from some of my peers and paid attention to what was happening around me, and just through the course of experience became more knowledgeable and took some night classes and things like that, and that's kind of helped propel me to where I am now.
All right. And Jeff, what about you? What's sort of been the overall path that you've taken so far since college?
So I graduated from college, and I kind of knew I was going to go into the field. And so what I did is I went right away. I went and took you got to pass the test, so you got to go right back to school and take a test to have a license as a contractor in the state of Minnesota. So I took that test, and luckily I'd been in plenty of college classes, so I did fairly well on it. And then I started to pursue my profession right out of college, and learned a lot through the years. But I would say it really helped being in the business for all those years prior to that during college, and then dissecting a company in college. And so I felt real ready to start out. I mean, granted, I ate lots of ramen noodles and macaroni and cheese my first couple of years, but we did okay. So.
All right. So yeah, both of you mentioned that you did start your career after leaving college, but that you got your first jobs in the field during college. So, Chris, you had mentioned you got a job while you were still in your technical college?
Yeah, the technical college I went to had postings for part-time work, and one looked really interesting, and that was drafting for a local home designer. And I did that for about a year until I graduated, and then there was also postings at my college for full-time work. So that's kind of what led me to get my first full-time job after going to Votech. And the drafting I took full-time was more in the commercial field, where the drafting I did part-time was more in the residential field. So I got a taste of both sides of it, which only enhanced what I do now.
All right. And then, Jeff, you had a summer job, is that right?
I did, yep. So I also sold Cutco knives a long time ago with working with a remodeling company, and I did that through college, and you kind of learn the trades of how to talk to people and present, and I think in any business, especially our business, remodeling, you have to present well to sell jobs or to get your company involved in different areas of our industry. So that was real important to me. All
right. So you definitely say having a job during college helped you, right?
Yes, for myself, yes.
And you?
I would say absolutely. Having a job, and if you can find the field that you want to be in, you can use that information that you can go to college and then learn from other people, so that when you go out and do it, whether you start a company or you're working for somebody, you're kind of ahead of everybody that's graduating, if you're working with somebody that you want to do.
That way you're not starting from nothing right out of college.
And you're more valuable to somebody, someone that's going to hire you because they're looking for experience.
Yeah, that too. All right. So after you got through those early days, what would be a sort of normal day for each of you at your jobs?
Jeff, you want to go first?
Sure. Normal day for me would be, I get up early, and we get to the office, and I go through. Obviously, you got to go through your ritual. I try to have a ritual every day with emails and all that, and then we have an office meeting, and so we do a lot of marketing, and we do different things to get jobs. So we have it's different things per day. That's kind of scheduled, and I think the more scheduled and the more plans that you have throughout the week, the more productive you can be. So we try to do that, and we get our jobs figured out, and we get our subcontractors or our employees working at them, and staying organized, I guess, is the most important part of any business owner.
All right. And Chris, what about you? Is that any different? Mostly the same?
It's mostly the same. You have appointments. Usually you have an appointment every day to meet with somebody that is interested in doing something in the construction field that they want to meet with you, and you got to ask them all kinds of questions that pertain to what they want to make sure that you're giving them what they want or preparing your bid that way. And it might also involve meeting with some subcontractors on another project, and maybe stopping by a current project that you have going on just to make sure that things are getting done the right way. And then you're always doing paperwork at the office. There's always bids to be done. There's always invoices to do, and just a lot of communication back and forth, just making sure everything goes day to day as smooth as they can. That's what we try to do.
All right, then. So what would you say is your current outlook in the field of construction? Like, how is it? Is it really bad to get a job, or how good is it, would you say?
I would, on my end, I would think that in my particular field, I think there's quite a good number of jobs available. Along in my field, there are people that are in trade work, electricians, painters, plumbers, things like that. There's all kinds of opportunity for people to work for them and develop a trade that you will use the rest of your life, whether it's on your own house or through your work, things like that. So I believe the outlook is very good at this time, and it would be a good career for somebody to take on.
And how about for you?
I would agree. I think we kind of got beat up a little bit in 2008 through 2011.
Everyone did.
Right. The remodeling business stayed fairly steady, but a lot of people lost their companies through that time frame. And I think it's important that with any entrepreneur type of if that's what the person wants to get into, the more information that you can get, to sponge off of people, and I would go back to college again. If I could go back to school, and I knew what I was going to do, like when I'm a sophomore or junior, then I would use everything that college has to offer to get, my skills better when I get out of school, because it's so valuable to the people that are going to be hiring you, or if you're going to go. And last thing is that with college is it doesn't seem like they have enough curriculum for entrepreneurs and how to learn how to be an entrepreneur right out of college, and they need to, so you got to look into that and find the classes that work best for your interests.
All right then. Well, sadly we've run out of time. I wish I could ask you more questions about what you do in your work, but you have to go now. So I want to thank you for being here, and thank you to everyone for listening.